Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being here at All Things Hadar. Whether you are here old, new, or just stopping by, thank you so much for all of you. I appreciate every single one of you and all of your support. Every time you watch, hit that like, subscribe, do the notification bells because they do pay attention to that. You help the channel grow. You help the channel be able to reach more of our collective and those who aren't in our collective. So with all of that said, I do want to get going. Again, if you are new, I am in a busy household with lots of animals. So I apologize if there's a sudden bursting of dogs barking or a cat that suddenly decides to be a part of the reading or bunnies that are going crazy or whatever. Okay, so these are the decks I'm going to be using. And this reading actually, there was a person who made some comments in the video that I did the interview with Shy from Evermind Oracle. And if you want to read about or listen to that, the interview and hear about Shy. Shy is an amazing reader. She also has an Etsy shop called Evermind Oracle. If you're interested in checking her out. But this person made, was very sweet and very wonderful in that she shared some of her experiences around blocks and, you know, wanting to grow, wanting to expand, right? But having experiences of blocks. And this made me feel prompted to let's just do a reading around, you know, what blocks are there or what information can come forward around blocks, and let's see what comes forward. So that is what we're going to do. No, we'll just leave that open. Okay. All right. For those of you who are new, I am an intuitive reader, which means that the messages that I get from cards may or may not be what you would find in the guidebooks that come with any given deck. Sometimes I'll read what's in there. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. Sometimes I'll read to you guys what's in there. If I feel there's something, you know, if I'm feeling nudged or guided to do that. If you are interested in getting a personal reading, you can go to my website, infusedtransitions.com, and check that out there. Or you can go to my other YouTube channel of Infused Transitions. Last one. As always, guys, only take what resonates and leave the rest. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. All right. Utmost high. I say utmost high, but, you know, utmost high, God, source, universe, whatever that is for you. We want to talk about blockages, or what are some things that you can tell us around some blockages here that maybe as a collective, or they could speak to those who you are wanting to bring messages forward to. Thank you. Maybe get like a overall, oh, that's too many. Okay. They're saying, no, you're going to have to take those. Wow. Okay. Yeah, these are too many. I will read to you these, but I'm not going to keep all of these. These came out face down over the rest of the deck. But these are the ones that were drawing my attention first. How fitting, right? So this one is, you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. So some of you may be in either truly be isolated or you're feeling isolated. But this is a message to let you know you're not alone in your journey. You're not alone in your challenges or your blocks, that we all have challenges. We all have blocks that we go through. You know, it is a process. It is in layers. We each have our own nuances, of course, but you aren't alone. I think too, what I'm also seeing in this is because we have the one that's in the blues and the blacks here, and the ones that are in the whites and grays is, excuse me, is, you know, it's also about learning to balance the dark and the light that is within us, right? There is a very energetic connection, you know, between ourselves, our higher selves, our other selves. Okay. We have empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, and absorbing what's not yours. So as most of us know, or we are learning, it is really important to learn how to manage our energy overall for everyone. And when you're an empath, it's extremely important because we can read and get and all that with so much energy around us all the time. It was really important to practice that energetic sovereignty, honoring yourself and taking care of yourself. And that means also managing your boundaries. And yes, boundaries can be energetic boundaries as well, right? We can learn to understand and read energies and that without having to take them on as our own, without having to let them come into our energy fields. So I do feel that that is possibly something that is contributing to blockages, because you figure if you have not only your energy, but you have energy of others that's not yours, it really gums up the work. It really creates a lot of chaos, indecisiveness, indecision, blocks, limitations, because there's so much that has to get through in order to just, of something of yours to get through to you. So it really is important to keep your energetic health maintained, taken care of. If you don't know what that looks like, you don't know what that means for you, then I would suggest being open possibly to doing some research for yourself and finding out about energetic boundaries as well as boundaries in general, and about how to learning how to manage your empathicness and what that looks like for you. Okay. And the other one we have is deep cellular healing. Arcturus, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So there is, I would say that this card is telling me that there definitely is work on the cellular level that would be good to take place for you in order to allow yourself to be open up more for your own growth, your own ascension, your own connecting with your other selves, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, these are way too many, but we're just going to run through them quickly. I'm not keeping them out on the table because we would be here for a really long time. We do have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning, which we just talked about, right? Learning how to manage things for yourself. What do these things look like for you personally? Because what looks one way for you might look something completely different for someone else. We have a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. And I feel like this is kind of just wanting to encourage you that even though you may feel you're alone, you may feel you're blocked and never going to be able to move past this, you will, you have the opportunity to do that if that's what you desire, if that's what you choose to pursue and to create. Managing your energy, managing your boundaries, and getting that deep cellular healing. This is part of the new earth, right? This is about us getting ourselves into the, into alignment, into balance, into harmony. We have the seas of Mintaka, seeing potential and bringing unconsciousness to light. This is really an important piece of the puzzle because there's so much that we carry in our subconscious, in our unconsciousness part of our minds, that's actually what runs the show versus what we're actually conscious of. I would suggest, if you're open to it, getting yourself grounded and connected and just having a quiet little time for yourself to invite in, what is the priority, unconscious, subconscious beliefs or traumas or knowledge or whatever that is that you want to name, that it's the right time to come forward and bring it to my conscious awareness, and help me to recognize that, whatever wording you want to put into that. But I believe it can start with an invitation, right? The invitation to have what is in the subconscious, the unconsciousness, to come into our consciousness, to bring it to light without judgment. And I would definitely suggest including asking it to come in while you experience, stellar health, comfort, right? Peace, calmness, so that you can have it come in again while not taking on the energies, because there may be other energies mixed in it that aren't just yours, right? Because especially if they're beliefs that are like from other collectives or ancestry or, et cetera, we don't need to take on that. If it's a trauma from something in the past, we don't need to relive the trauma. We can observe what the story is, what is the understanding, what were the beliefs around that, and do that without judging it and without taking it on and reliving it over and over, right? The 7 Star Sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. Guys, this holds the potential to really change a lot of things. This is something that could birth another whole new level, and I don't like using that word, but a whole new level, a whole new aspect, a whole new path in your journey of expansion, ascension, growth. Okay, we have the Star Keeper, which is cosmic ancestor, seed, S-E-E-D, seed the light by staying grounded. And yes, I think that's really important, is making sure that I forgot to show you this one, sorry. I do feel it is really important about staying grounded. Being anchored and grounded, anchored in the light and grounded and connected with Mother Gaia, I do feel is really, really important. We do have a portal, so I do feel like, when we continue to do our work and continue to move forward, right, doors open up. You decide. There are rewards. It's a wild card, meaning I like how it says you decide. There are doors that are open, but it is truly, free will, free choice. This is about you deciding what you want to move through, what you don't. What do you want to create? What do you not want to create? And then we have breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. So, again, maybe there's this an invitation to maybe be open to letting things come as they are. Does that make sense? In the sense of, instead of trying to, well, this has to look this way and it has to work this way and it has to come at this time and it's going to do this and it's going to look like that and it's going to have this involved and this not involved, and right, we get in our own way frequently as human beings. It seems to be something that is a challenge for us. I will point out before I hold this up to you guys, I do see like a huge lion, or not lion, like a lioness or a tiger or some big cat head here to me. To me, this is also like the head and the beak of a bird of some sort. And I do kind of feel like this is almost like a, I keep getting the word seal, but I don't know, if, you know, it might not look that way to you guys. It's just that's what I'm seeing. I find it interesting too that right here, I don't know if you can see that, but that planet to me looks very blue. I don't know. It just makes me think of Hadar. And then we have this one, which has rings around it, which makes me think of Saturn. Not saying that that is Hadar and Saturn or Saturn, but it's just what it makes me think of. So when I look at all of this, yeah, there's a lot said here, right? And they just drew my eye to this about seeing potential. Okay. I feel like sometimes we can get stuck in, oh, wow, check that out. Okay, let me finish my thought. Sometimes I feel that when we feel like we get stuck, right? Or we feel like we're drowning in our stuckness. Does that make sense? We can feel like we're drowning in our stuckness, drowning in non-growth. We can just feel like it's overtaking us. And I found it interesting because right when I was going to say that, I looked down, and to me, this looks like a face of somebody who's barely able to keep their head above water. Do you see that? It almost looks like two eyes and the nose is just barely above the water. I find that really interesting. But we can feel like we're stuck in that. We can also feel like we're really stuck in drowning in isolation and not having community, not having people who understand, not having people who, you know, are doing things in their own way, but on the same page at the same time, if that makes sense. There's Earth. Where's the other one? And yeah, the Star Keeper is talking about being grounded. There may be, for some of you, or for, you know, maybe a good-sized group of you, there is this importance about being grounded. And I find it interesting because we have the Star Keeper, the cosmic ancestors, talking about being grounded. So I do feel that there is, if you're wanting this connection, your cosmic, your intuitive, your higher dimensions, connection to awaken, to come forward, to get stronger, whatever the case may be for you, it may require a little stronger of a grounding practice for yourself, because that's going to allow us to be that conduit that allows things to flow all the way through and be brought into our here and now. I hope that makes sense. I just absolutely love this deck. The imagery in here is just so incredibly beautiful. All right. I am going to pull just one from, ooh, goodness. I am going to pull just one from here. Well, that's my plan. We'll see what Spirit has planned, okay? I do feel like, too, though, that with community, again, you know, that not only feeling alone would dissipate when we are more social, when we find more people who may be different from us, but that also are awakened and open to new ideas, new concepts. But I also feel like, what was I going to say? Bring that back, please. Oh, just that by doing that, being social and stuff, this does also open us up to, you know, how sometimes you can be somewhere and you might not even be in the conversation with somebody, but somebody around you might be talking about something and you hear it and you're like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense to me now. Or you hear something, it's like, wow, that just made everything click into place about blah, 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 whatever that is. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So Wheel of Fortune. And I do feel like, again, this is very cosmic. This is interesting. So, all right. Behind them, we have this like almost like a window of a different, you know, you could go through that window and be in a different place, right? Because the background here looks very different than what is in there. Okay. To me, it's looking very like, here's very cosmic. And then there's this reality here. To me, this mirror is like a portalway to something else. We had portalway in these other cards that came out that I had put back. And then we have this hallway that takes you down to this whole new opening over here. And then here we have the Wheel of Fortune come in. And again, there's this portalway. And we had the one, remember, that said, you know, it's your decision. It's your choice. You can choose to do this or not. There's, you know, it's totally up to you. But I do feel that the wheel is turned in your favor should you decide to pursue that deep cellular healing. You know, should you decide to choose looking for community and removing the isolation. If you decide to pursue having healthier boundaries or learning more about what does it mean to be an empath and what does that look like for me. Okay, I guess we're going to use this deck and we're going to get, so let's get one, let's go deeper with this You're Not Alone, please. Let's go deeper with You're Not Alone. I was going to put this deck back and utilize the other one, but I got, nope, do this. So this is what we're doing. Let's get one more here for the You're Not Alone. I said one more, but okay. Oh, wow, yeah, see... Okay, you're not alone, but there we are in the hermit cave, and then the devil is here. Now, yeah, I feel like for some of you that are in this isolation setting, and you know how sometimes you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone, and it's because you're surrounded by people, events, situations, atmospheres, whatever that is, or any combination of those, right? That there's just not on the same wavelength. Maybe you're awakened and what's around you is not, or just in a very different place and space of the journey, not judging either or any of that. Just sometimes it makes it very, very difficult. And we end up withdrawing more and more and more and more. For others of you, you truly are, you know, maybe you live by yourself in your job, you work from home and, you know, or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is that there's a lot of alone time. And this makes just reinforces this feeling of being alone and being in this hermit cave. And then having this here, to me, this is talking about having just too much time ruminating over things over and over and over again in your mind. But again, it's a choice. There's that portalway. You can choose to walk out of there and leave that alone. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely times when going into the hermit cave is very important as a part of our healing process, right? There's times when being in the hermit cave is exactly what we need in order to process things. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it takes that happening in order for us to be able to shift things. And again, I hope that all makes sense. Let's see. I do want to look this one up just to... Yeah, see? Okay, so the book is saying one of the questions here is... Okay, here's the two questions. What am I clutching onto that needs to be released? And what inner healing can I focus on? So again, you know, when we stay stuck and we continue to isolate ourselves, but then we don't understand why things don't change. So if there are those of you who are isolated in whatever way, shape, form that looks like for you, it may be important for you to choose to look at that and decide, okay, but what am I going to do about that? Because otherwise it's just this constant rumination and going round and round and round again, versus allowing yourself to choose to walk and go through these portal ways. Choose to do something different. Yeah. All right. What else can we get with for the empathic starseed, please? Can we go deeper and expand on that? Thank you. Wow, it's taken a long time for this to come out. That's too, yeah, that's too many. I thought it was only 3, but it wasn't. And even 3 is too many. Okay, could we get a card to expand on the empathic starseed? Can we get a little more detail and go, thank you. 2 of Cups. Okay, so for 2 of Cups, okay, I realize what I'm going to say here. For those of you who know tarot, this is not going to be what you would find in the normal definitions or whatever, and I don't know what the definition is in this particular deck, but to me, what I'm getting here is, all right, so we've got the 2 of Cups, right? 2 of Cups typically talks about soulmates. It talks about partnership, collaborations, can mean family to me as a reader. It can be a meeting of somebody, a like person, a soulmate, right? And that soulmate doesn't have to be intimate. It can be intimate. It can be family. It can be friends. It can be a business opportunity. It can be a teacher, a mentor, you know, whatever. But what I'm seeing here, and because it's coming underneath the empathic starseed, and we have a mirror here, which is like a portal way, I feel almost like I'm literally hearing the words, the Great Divide. And I'm seeing the stairway here is between the 2. There's 2 mountains here within this mountainous imagery. There's 2 separate mountains, and there's all this divide in between. And then there's this one that's in the middle, but it's off here in the distance. And it's like, and if you're wanting to reach that together, there's somehow that this divide has to be able to be worked through. This can be between yourself, as we, you know, see over here. It can be 2 different people. If it's, you know, again, because we're expanding on this empathic starseed, you know, energetic sovereignty and absorbing what's not yours, this could be just reiterating, again, there's a very definite need for boundaries. This cup is yours. This cup is mine. It's not that there's no love. It's not that, and it's not that we don't share love. It's just, it's about not taking on each other's stuff as our own. You know, you can be open to having a partnership. It's not saying that at all. But healthy boundaries are really critical in having relationships of quality. And not just for yourself, but for all parties in the relationship. Whether that is, you know, like a family unit, a work team, you know, a classroom, whatever that is. Can we get one more, please? Can we get one more to expand on the empathic starseed with the Two of Cups? It can also be about, you know, again, by doing our own work, right? Getting out of that hermit cave, going out there into the world, allowing yourself to experience being out there in the world. It could be that it's saying, you know, you may feel like you're also isolated and all alone, but maybe there's somebody out there looking for you, just like you're looking for someone else. And again, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be, but not everybody is looking for that. So, you know, again, take it how it resonates and leave the rest. Can we get one more, please, to expand one more on this? No, that's way too many. I realize that watching the shuffling can be boring, so if this is not for you, you can always fast forward to where the card has been drawn. Let's get one more, please. Can we get one more? Cards are really taking a long time to come out. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles and Judgment. Yeah, see... So to me, the Queen of Pentacles, man, gorgeous, gorgeous cards. You know, she's focused on something. Okay, we don't see what her gaze is on, but she is focused on something. To me, the Queen of Pentacles, that's somebody who's very earthy, again, very grounded, right? To me, she's also someone who, I mean, you become the Queen of Pentacles, right? By being focused, by being intelligent, by doing nurturing, by taking care of yourself, by taking care of business, whatever that business is. She's very intelligent. She's very wise. And I guess here, when I look at her gown, that turquoisey, aqua-like colors makes me feel like the emotions, the movement of life, the movement of water, the movement of emotions. But it's almost like there's a mastery of sorts. There is a mastery of intellect and learning how to be in this world and still honor herself, if that makes sense. And then we have Judgment. And again, we have doorways. And there's some right here, and then there's some off in the distance. Doorways, portalways, openings, paths, journeys. We also have feathers, and there's water out here in the background. This can also be about, you know, because, and again, this is what I'm getting. I'm seeing, you know, it's 20, right? In the major arcana. Can be talking about two different kinds of endings, but I do feel it's also about something, once, how do I say that? Once a decision is made to walk through one door, one portalway, one opening, whatever that is for you, it feels like it helps you to gain momentum to continue to move forward. This doesn't, yeah. So it's almost like, you know, if you get going on it and you feel like, oh man, I didn't want to do that, you know, I'm not liking it. Okay, take what you've learned and keep moving. You can change directions. You can go diagonally, up, down, around. You can do anything. It's limitless. Judgment to me also talks about a brand new beginning. And I feel like, you know, I feel like balance. You know, there's balance. Because here we've got 2 and 2 and 2, right? There's 2, 2, 2, one on each side. Then it's by themselves. Then they're back to 2. Then it's by the self. And then now we have openings and there's more than one. I do feel that there is, it's about balancing things out. There is the potential for a new beginning. Learning what you have learning from what you have gained in knowledge, wisdom from your experiences, and continuing forward. But it's all going to start with that movement out. And I don't know if you realize this or not, but you actually have 4 major arcana cards out of this tarot deck and only 2 minor. So, you know, major arcana, to me, these are like major life events, whereas the minor arcana are like your day-to-day things. So this holds potential to really change a great deal for yourself. Four of Swords wanted to make itself known. I do feel like for some of you, to help you through this stuff, meditation may be a beneficial thing for yourself. It's almost like thinking before you take the action and finding that inner peace with your decision, or as close to the inner peace that you can discover, but with your decisions. But she's balancing these lights in her hands. I want to see what it says about the Four of Swords for this particular deck. Meditating the course of her life. So in this particular deck, it's saying that the 3 swords up above her, these are representations of passing. Passing, meaning it's happening, not past already done, but passing challenges that were seen in the previous, passing challenges. And there rests a single sword, the symbol of one particular force or energy that still remains unresolved, waiting for releasement. Are there any lingering burdens that need your attention? And can you take the time to rest and recalibrate? So again, meditation. And I do feel that, like I said, that thinking and coming, I just heard coming to terms with what has been, and then letting it be, like, let go of it. It's not about we forget, it's just we don't let it dictate our present and our future. And that's why the Judgment card is here with a new beginning, because it's about releasing these things, which is going to allow you to have this deep cellular healing. But it all starts with you deciding, are you going to choose to no longer keep yourself in isolation, whatever that isolation looks like to you. All right, let's go deeper with this deep cellular healing. Let's get a little more details, please. Ooh, thank you. The Star. Wow. Doing your work to get this deep cellular healing, right? Physical and emotional healing. This is a wish fulfillment. Should you decide to do this, there is a wish fulfillment that will come from that. Let's get another one, please. One more. And notice that's another major arcana card. And to me, the Star card isn't about just one single wish, but almost like a rippling effect, a domino effect. But it's like there's this one big major thing, and then there's a bunch of several ones that are a result from that big major wish come true. I feel like it's also about expansion. And to me, it's also about bringing what's up here, and it continues to trickle down. And then look at that. It's actually coming down all the way. And it almost looks like it becomes a part of her dress, which to me is about integration and embodiment. This holds potential for some very, very deep cellular healing that brings about a wish come true, whatever that is. Clearer energy, messages, gifts. I mean, it could be anything. It could be things that you haven't even considered or thought of. Or maybe, again, as we saw in those other cards, we had the unconscious and the conscious. Maybe this is something you aren't even aware of that you want. And the moon card. But it's not plain to see. It's not something that you know what it is. I feel like she looks really focused on this. And again, it's almost like, I'm just heard the phrase, you know, two parts of the same whole, if that makes sense. And again, we have this dark and light. So this could very well be, for some of you, it's not about something outside yourself. This is about you finding mastery within and finding balance within. For others of you, this is about relationships and, you know, the potential for change by having relationships that are also on their ascension path, if that makes sense. I'm seeing also, again, this mirroring, and these two aren't even looking at each other. They're not even noticing each other. So this could be the total disconnect within, or if it's about two different people, about just not even seeing each other, not even paying attention, not even being tuned in, not even acknowledging one another. And if this is the self, not even acknowledging that area of mastery, you know, whatever that is. Very interesting reading. I'm just curious. I just want to see like what will come out here. One more. Telling me to cut the deck. Okay. All right, we're not going to clarify all of them, but I keep having my eyes drawn to these two. So let's get a little more of a clarifier for the You're Not Alone card, please. It's almost like there's a lot of illusions. No, that is way too many. It's almost like there's a lot of illusions that are in place. Yeah, see, so the Four of Wands is what came out. And it came out in the reverse, which I feel like it's the reason it's in the reverse is just simply to say, right, because wands are about creativity, they're about passion, motivation, communication, action. And I feel like there's stagnancy. And I would say that the stagnancy is coming from this choice to be in this isolation, to be in this hermit cave, to keep yourself separate in some way, shape, or form. And again, if you're wanting to shift that, or even just willing to be open to the possibility of shifting that, you know, it will shift out the stagnancy. Can we get more on this deep cellular healing, please? Let's get more on the deep cellular healing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so under the deep cellular healing, but they're drawing my, so let's focus on the moon. Let's get a clarifier for the moon card. Yeah, King of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So I would say what you don't see, what the moon is, what you don't see, what you don't realize is a part of this. Oh, I don't think I showed you this. All right, so we have the King of Cups and the Ace of Wands. And I think that what you don't see as a part of this is there is this opportunity for this King of Cups to come in. Again, could be romantic. Maybe it's not. It could be a boss. It could be a new friend. It could be a father figure. It could be a brother. It could be, but it could be a romantic. It's going to be different for each of you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But what you don't see is by doing this work, coming out of this hermit cave, right? Learning how to control and have boundaries with your empathicness versus letting it run amok and spin out of control and control you. And all of this is opening the windows and the doors for you to have a deep cellular healing. Being able to have these new beginnings and getting yourself onto good, solid footing. Both energetically, I shouldn't say both, energetically, cosmically, intuitively, as well as very, I would say multidimensionally, because those other things are in other dimensions, and then we're also in this dimension, right? But I feel like doing this work and allowing this stuff to take place for yourself and bringing this healing to yourself, if for those of you who this resonates with, there is this potential for a very genuine, emotionally mature person to come into your life. And this is someone who has a lot of creativity, a lot of passion. They're very action oriented. They want something, they see something, they go after it, they work towards it. This could be about you in the sense of when you've worked through this stuff, what you don't see now is that you will be in your King of Cups energy. You know, genders doesn't matter, which will help you find your mojo. Get your mojo back. Get yourself moving. Yeah. And it all starts with a step. I mean, no matter how tiny, how small, or how gargantuous or big it is, it all starts with a step, right? Yeah. So anyways, guys, I hope that this reading was helpful to you. I hope it made sense. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.